Hey Churchill High School, I just want to let you know that I'm super excited about choice cards this year. Miss Garcia is going to go through all kinds of choices that you have with the PowerPoint behind me, so please pay attention. If you have any questions, you can always go to the counselor's office or the administrative office the next couple weeks to make your decision based on what course you'd like to take.
Good morning, Churchill Chargers. Today we are going to start talking about course registration for next school year. So you are going to get several handouts today in advisory. The first one is going to be the course card. It is a gray colored card that has all of the classes that we offer here at Churchill. It's a front and back of list of classes. Then you're also going to have a blue sheet that has our endorsements, and it also lists the choices of courses for each endorsement and each program of study. So as you are going through and selecting classes for next year, you want to make sure and keep in mind what your endorsement is. The third piece of paper that you'll be receiving is a copy of your current schedule. Your current schedule will show you what your endorsement is that you've selected. So you're going to want to select courses that go with your endorsement. And if you want to change your endorsement, you're always welcome to do that. You just need to come by and see your counselor. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just make sure on your desk you have a copy of your transcript, a copy of your schedule, copy of the course card, and a copy of the endorsement sheet. There's 4 pieces of paper that you should have in front of you as we get started. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is who your counselor is. Your counselor is going to be available to help you answer any questions that you may have as it comes to course registration this week. This is going to be a pretty quick turnaround. You're receiving your cards today on Monday, and you're going to turn them back in on Thursday this week. But you will have the opportunity to ask questions during lunch periods. All the counselors will be available, as well as you can make an appointment to see your counselor or email them with questions you may have. Your teachers will also be talking to you about what classes you should be taking for next year as well. Again, these are the materials that you're going to need in front of you as we begin this process. It's a copy of your current transcript, your current schedule, your course card, and your endorsement sheet. Those are the 4 things you're going to be looking at as we complete this process. First thing we want to talk about is the graduation requirements. Everybody is following the 26 credit requirement of Foundations program with distinguished level of achievement, and that is what we are going to be creating your schedule around. So you are going to have 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 4 science, 3 social studies, 1 fine arts, half a credit of health, 1 PE credit, and 6.5 electives, and 2 years of a foreign language. So once we have put all of the required courses into your 4-year plan, anything you take beyond that is elective credit for you. Okay, looking at the top of your course card, you're going to fill out the demographic information. We want you to print this information, and you may want to use pencil so that if you are going to have to make some changes, that you don't have to have a bunch of scratch outs on your card. So you want to write in your last name, your first name, your middle initial, your ID number, what grade you are currently in, and then we also need a cell phone number or a phone number we can reach you at. Because when courses fill up and we have to go to your alternate class, we want to be able to contact you easily. So please make sure you're completing all the information that's asked of you and print so that we can read it. Okay, go ahead and look at your endorsement sheet. That's the blue piece of paper you have. On the endorsement sheets, the state of Texas offers 5 different endorsements: multidisciplinary studies, arts and humanities, public service, business and industry, and STEM. Under each endorsement, there's a list of courses that you have to take in order to meet that endorsement. So for instance, for example, if you are in AVID, you can be following the multidisciplinary endorsement and just take 4 credits of AVID, and that will allow you to earn your endorsement. Some of you may be looking at taking health science as an endorsement in public service. If you want to do the health science pathway, then it tells you here you have to have 4 credits from within those classes. So that's how you determine what courses you take for your endorsement. There's 5 sections: multidisciplinary, arts and humanities, STEM, public service, and on the black is all the business and industries, where you're going to find your video tech, your video production, construction, architecture. Those types of endorsements are on the back. So under each endorsement, there's a program of study that lists the courses that are required to meet that endorsement. So many of you may be asking, what is my endorsement? Because I don't remember what I selected my freshman year. So the next thing you're going to look at, it's going to show you what your endorsement is your current schedule. So this is just the slide that shows you what that blue sheet is that you're looking at, the endorsement sheet. That's where you're going to find those classes. But to figure out what endorsement you have, you're going to look at your current schedule. The current schedule is going to show you what you selected as your endorsement maybe in your freshman year, maybe it was last year, whenever you completed your 4-year plan, you selected an endorsement. If you're looking at that and you're saying, no, I didn't select that, that's okay. Again, we can always change it. Go ahead and look at your endorsement sheet, figure out which one you do want to follow now, and you can follow up with the conversation with your counselor so that they can make that adjustment for you. The most popular endorsement at this point is the Academic 4 Core, meaning you have to just take a core class every year in high school, and then you earn that endorsement. You can graduate with earning more than one endorsement, and that is fine, but you have to have at least one to meet graduation requirements. Okay, let's get on to registration and what you're going to do with that. On your course card, there is a space for you to write in the course number, the title of the course, and alternate courses for you to take next year. That is at the top of the course card. Underneath your name and demographic information, that's where you're going to be writing in the courses that you are interested in taking next year. I'm going to go through and highlight the different courses and where to find them on the card so that it will help you in determining what you want to take. The course numbers are listed to the left of the course, and then the course title is there, and then on the right column it tells you what grade level you should be in to take that class. And there are courses listed on the front and the back of the card. There is also a legend that tells you if you have to have certain requirements to take that course. For instance, it'll let you know if it's an advanced course, if it's a teacher signature is required. If there's an S, it means there's a summer reading assignment. So go ahead and make sure you're looking at the legend as you're looking at the card so you know what the expectation is for those particular classes. So let's start with English. Everybody's going to go ahead and write in what English class they're going to take next year. If you're currently sitting in English 1, you're going to take English 2. If you're sitting in English 2, you're going to take English 3. And if you're sitting in English 3, you're going to go ahead and take English 4 next year. You get to decide what level of course you want to take. If you're a pre-AP student, you're going to select the course number for pre-AP. If you're already in GT, you're going to select the course that is a GT class. So you get to decide which English you're going into next. In addition to that, in the English section, you'll also see that they have some elective choices like creative writing and literary magazine. So those are also options for you when it comes to electives. The next course you're going to go right in is your math class. This does get a little bit more complex depending on what math you're in. Our freshmen, if you're in Algebra 1 right now, next year your sequence would be geometry. If you are currently in geometry, your next course would be Algebra 2. And if you're currently in Algebra 2, you have many options. If you look out to the right, it tells you after Algebra 2, you could take pre-calculus, college algebra, statistics, algebraic reasoning, or math transitions. So you get to decide which one of those math classes you want to take. If you're currently in pre-calculus, you have options of college algebra, statistics, or calculus. So these are conversations you want to have with your current math teacher. They will help guide you to the right course for next year. Again, you have options of pre-AP, or some of them have AP options. There is a new course we're going to offer next year. It's called Pre-Cal Pre-AP On-Ramps. It's a dual enrollment program through UT Austin, and your math teacher would be able to give you more information on that. We'll also have information that goes out in email about that course as well. So at this point, you should have your English class written down, and now you should go ahead and select your math class. Science is the next subject we want to look at. If you're currently in biology, your next class should be chemistry, and if you're currently in chemistry, the next class should be physics. Once you have completed those 3 science requirements, then you have the option to take your 4th science, and that can be, there are many science electives. You can do AP Biology, Pathophysiology, Anatomy and Physiology, Earth and Space, Environmental Systems, AP Environmental Science, Medical Microbiology, Food Science, Forensic Science. There is a lot of science electives. Now, you do have to have 4 science credits to meet graduation requirements. Some students choose to not take physics. If you choose to not take physics, we really suggest that you look at the university that you plan on attending, because a lot of them are wanting to see physics on your transcripts. But if you choose to take another upper level science, that is also okay. You do have to have 4 credits of science. We are also offering another AP Physics 1 On-Ramps course, which is the dual enrollment through UT Austin. Again, you can ask your science teacher for more information about that course, and we will be sending information out to parents through email as well. the last core area that we're going to discuss is social studies. Typically, the sequence for social studies goes world geography, then world history, then U.S. history, and then government economics. However, if you'll notice under government economics, it's now open to 10th graders. So if you'd like to take those in a different order, you're welcome to. But we do recommend that you take world geography or AP human geography prior to taking world history, because the background will help you in that course. And we do require our juniors to take U.S. history at the junior level. So at this point, you should be able to determine if you want to take what English you're going to take, the math course you're going to take, the science class that you would like, and then also your social studies. There are some social studies electives like psychology AP and European history AP that you could select as well as elective courses. So remember, if you're following the multidisciplinary endorsement, you do have to have 4 core classes every school year. So at this point, we've filled in our card with the 4 cores, so you're on track for that multidisciplinary endorsement if we continue on that route. So now, the last 3 slots on your course card are going to be filled in with things that other courses that are required for graduation or elective choices if you have room. Okay, so let's talk about what else you can put in on your course card. Additional graduation requirements are going to include world language, fine arts credit, half a credit of health, PE, which is a full credit of PE that's required, and then 6.5 electives. So if you have not started your foreign language credit, you can go ahead and pick your foreign language. If you've not started taking a fine arts, you could put that in your schedule for next year. So these are classes that at some point over the 4 years of high school, you have to take these classes. So you can determine which ones you want to fit in next year. So let's look at each section. When it comes to world language, you have 2 credits that are required. You can take French, German, Latin, Spanish, Japanese, and American Sign Language. Those are the courses that we offer here at Churchill, and you want to decide which class you want to take 2 years of, because in order to satisfy that requirement, you'll need 2 credits. So if you start with Spanish, you want to continue with Spanish. If you start with sign language, you want to continue with sign language. Fine arts choices, you have 1 credit that is required, and fine arts can be satisfied through a regular art class, band, flags, dance, which would include pep squad, dance team, drill team, or cheerleading, choir, orchestra, theater arts, or technical theater. All of these courses will satisfy the fine arts requirement. These fine arts courses can be found on the back side of the course card. They're listed in the first column on the left, and that's where you can decide if you haven't taken one of these classes and you're about to be a senior, know that you have to get that fine arts credit in your schedule, because you have to have at least 1 credit of fine arts. Oral communication is another option as an elective for you. It is on the front side of the course card. This is where classes like debate and oral interp you'll find. There's also a half-credit course called Professional Communications. It's formerly our speech class that you can take as an elective choice. Some of our endorsement offerings will include professional communications as a requirement. All right, the other courses that you have plenty of options for as career and technology classes. You can find all of these classes on the back of the course card. It starts in the middle on the back and under business. We have human services, we have health science, architecture, construction, engineering, computer science, animation and video tech. All of those classes are elective choices. So the way you want to look at this is you want to go back and look at your endorsement sheet. And if you were going to follow the endorsement, for instance, for animation, if you look under business and industry at animation, you'll see that you have to take 4 credits within that list of courses next to animation. So if you've not started taking those classes, then you need to go ahead and start with your principles of arts as the first course, and then figure out what other 3 credits you're going to want to fit into your schedule over the next few years if that's the endorsement that you're wanting to follow. So your career and tech classes are going to help fulfill the endorsements for the different areas in business and industry, in public service, are the endorsements that you're going to follow when you're looking at the career and tech. Now, even if you're not taking the endorsement in public service or business and industry, you can still take these career and technology classes as just electives. So you have to have 6.5 electives to graduate. This is a great place to find electives that you might be interested in. So go ahead and look through that course card, and there are some slides up in the cafeteria. I know that teachers are displaying that are promoting their classes or letting you know about those classes. Talk to your friends, talk to the teachers, find out what courses may be interesting to you, or maybe things that you might want to study in college. This is a time to get a sample of what that's going to look like. Other electives on our course card include things like the GT Interdisciplinary Studies course. That is for GT students only. That course can be found on the back side of the card at the very bottom. We also have PALS, Parliament, AVID, JROTC, Journalism, and Sports Medicine. Notice that you do have to have teacher signature or application for some of these classes. So if you put this on your course card and we don't have a signature, or you are not didn't do the application, we're going to go to your alternate course and take that one off of your card. So make sure that when you add your alternate classes, it's a course that you can live with. Because if you try out for PALS and you interview for PALS and don't end up making it for PALS, we want to be able to look at your alternate choice and put you in that class instead. So these are the classes that are going to require a teacher signature or an application. There's another section at the bottom of the course card in the back. These are for programs that are off campus that you are still eligible to apply for. We now have a new Career and Technology Academy that's going to house the Medical Professions Academy, Automotive Technology Academy, and they're also going to be doing the Manufacturing Cluster. So for all of those courses listed there on the left-hand side, you would go to the Northeast webpage for CTEC, that's the Career and Technology Academy, and that is where you would do the application to apply to get into one of these programs. What you need to notice is when they say next to the title of the course it has a 2.0, that class is 2 credits, which means it's going to take 2 periods of your school day. So make sure that if you're interested in emergency medical technician, that you have enough room for 2 periods in your day to take that course before you do the application.
Are there busing from here?
There will be busing from Churchill High School to the Career and Technology Academy. So you would go there for 2 hours and then come back to Churchill for the rest of your classes. So if you're interested in these programs, you do have to go to their website to complete the survey and the application, but you can go ahead and write that on your course card. If you get in, we make that happen in your schedule. If for whatever reason you do not get in, we'll look at your alternate courses to make that happen. Other programs that are not on our campus are on the right-hand side. Alamo Academy's program, things like Aerospace Academy, Advanced Technology and Manufacturing Academy, and then the Hallmark Aeronautics and Aviation. Those programs are through Alamo colleges, and you would need to come and see your counselor about applying for those programs. There's also a website listed there as well for those that you can go and start looking at with an application as well. So if any of these programs are of interest to you, go ahead and go to their website, learn more about them, and then you can also speak to your counselor about them as well. Athletics. All the athletic sports are listed on the back of the course card. You want to make sure that if you're currently in an athletic period, you sign up for the next course based on your grade level. For instance, if you're in football 1 as a freshman, next year you're going to sign up for football 2. If you're currently in softball 1, you would sign up for softball 2 next year. So make sure you're signing up for the course related to that corresponds to your grade level. Also make sure that if you're not in a sport this year, you have to have the permission of the coach to go into that sport for next year. So make sure that you have a conversation with that coach. If you're currently in athletics, you can go ahead and sign up for the next course. Programs that are going to require an application, I did speak a little bit about those already, but there are also things like off-campus PE, senior early release, and then again back to the Medical Professionals Academy, Automotive Technology Academy, Manufacturing Cluster, Aerospace Academy, the Hallmark Aeronautics and Aviation, PALS, and Parliament. All of those require an application. You can still write them down as a course in your course selection, but make sure we have alternates in case you don't get into these programs. Vary from program to program, so make sure that you check their website for certain deadlines for those applications. Dual credit is another option for you for students next year. The courses that we offer for dual credit next year will be English 4 AP, U.S. History AP, and College Algebra. We also offer Instructional Practices of Education, or PET or IPET, that you can earn dual credit. Some of you may be wondering, what is dual credit? Dual credit means that you are getting you're getting college hours at the same time as earning high school credit. So you would start a transcript at San Antonio College if you took these courses. So the grade you make in English 4 AP here is the same grade you would be earning on your college transcript for San Antonio College. There is an application and testing that has to be completed for dual credit, and these are the deadlines for that. You are going to complete, you'd have to complete the Apply Texas application before February the 12th. You would also have to take a TSI placement test by March the 3rd, and then complete the rest of the dual credit packet by March 7th. If you are interested in dual credit and you have not started this process for next year, you need to come to the counseling office today or tomorrow to pick up the packet to get started, because these are firm deadlines, and if you don't meet these deadlines, you would not be eligible for dual credit for next year. So if you plan on taking English 4 AP, US History AP, College Algebra, or IPET next year, it would be a good idea for you to consider dual credit. So again, if you're interested in dual credit, come to the counseling office and pick up the packet if you've not already done so. And if you have already done so, make sure that you're meeting these deadlines, starting first with completing your Apply Texas application by February the 12th. We also have a course catalog. There's a paper copy of the course catalog, looks like this. And we have these in the counseling office that you can look through, but we also have it online. So there's a link you can go to online so that you can look up any course that is offered at Churchill, or for that matter in Northeast, and it'll give you a description of that class. So it's a good resource for you as well as you're starting to make decisions for classes. The final step in the course registration process is to turn in your completed course card to your second period teacher on Thursday. I want you to make sure that you take the next few days to talk to your parents, your friends, your teachers, whoever's going to help you make this important decision for your classes next year. We want you to be happy in the classes you select. We don't want you to have to make schedule changes at the last minute to courses that may or may not be something that you're interested in. So please take the time to research the courses and figure out what class is the best fit for you. If you need assistance, come to the counseling office during your lunch period and we will help you. Each one of your teachers in the core areas will be going over the course sequences throughout these next couple of days. So your algebra teachers should be helping you determine what math you're going to take next year. Your English teacher will be helping you determine what English to take next year. So make sure you use your teachers to help you make informed decisions. If you have any questions, please feel free to come to the counseling office. Thank you.